thank you. We'd like to welcome everybody to the Barbershop. My name is Terry T. Hollimon.
And I am Marcus Trufant, yes indeed.
True, your name is True.
True. I want to go by Marcus Trufant, the full name. It's the first show, so we got to let them know exactly.
Normally, we don't give full government names in the barbershop. We don't get that.
Right.
But as you know, some of you might not know, we are the Barbershop. We've had a show on the radio here for just about a year, and now we've decided to do a little something different. Get out here and meet the people, reach the people, touch the people, and bring the show to TV.
Yes, because on the radio, you know, we're kind of in a box. And if anybody's ever listened to the radio show, they know we can get a little crazy. We like to have a little fun. So to do our own thing, we're the players and the owners now. We can do whatever we want. We can have a lot of fun. And we want to be involved with the people. So it's good.
Absolutely. We are the voice of the people. We're the voice inside the locker room. Well, Marcus, you the voice inside the locker room.
Okay, I'll take that.
Been there.
Right.
And we ask the questions that people normally don't ask. We have the conversations that people normally don't have. It's kind of like a barbershop. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a barbershop lately, but you have conversations that are really, they go anywhere. And the topics, nothing is off limits. What happens in the barbershop? True?
Absolutely. But if anybody is wondering why Terry goes to the barbershop, he has a beard, so he gets his beard shaved. But in the barbershop, there's several things that go on. You can get your mom in the barbershop. You're going to get more advice, get told what to do. You can get your lawyers. You can get different stuff. You could buy CDs, you could buy food, and these is different type of barbershop. So that's what we're trying to bring, that flavor.
You can get DVDs that aren't even out yet.
Absolutely.
Last week I was there when I got my face shaved.
Right.
I got an Apple Watch. Well, it was a Snapple Watch. Snapple Watch.
Okay.
But
I like
it's still the same. It's still the same.
Right.
I gotta say this, True. I've been with you all day, man. And you haven't said, I'm surprised. You haven't said this one thing you haven't said about my outfit. I'm wearing all black. I'm wearing all black. And usually Marcus has something to say about my blackness.
So you're going to do that in front of the people, but wait. I'm a darker gentleman myself, so it's certain rules and regulations. Sometimes it's not good to wear all black, but of course we got the light. We in B, right here in B47 Studios, we got lovely lighting, so we're going to make it happen. So I give you a pass, T.
Yeah, B47 did a good job with the lights, yeah. Speaking of black, and again, the conversations in the barbershop, we're going to talk all current events, not just sports, all current events. But speaking about current events and black,
yes,
there's been a recent controversy with this Confederate flag.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have heard about this shooting that took place a couple weeks ago, almost a month ago, down in South Carolina, down in Charleston. And they're now trying to get rid of the Confederate flag. It's been flying over all the government buildings, and a lot of people like to wave the flag, certain types of redneck people.
It's the barbershop, keep it real, too.
Yeah, they like to fly the flag. So now they're trying to get rid of it. What do you think about that?
You know what? To get rid of the flag, I think it has its place. But let me keep going. In history, only in the books, on paper, no place flying around in buildings and stuff like that, out in the open, because it stands for something that the country's not supposed to stand for now. We're supposed to be moving forward. So it needs to stay in the past, needs to stay in the history books. Let's move forward. So let's get rid of it.
What about now they're trying to get rid of it, like the Dukes of Hazzard. Do we have to get rid of the Dukes of Hazzard? The generally the car?
Right, yeah. Well, we can't get rid of the car. I love the car, but it's okay to paint over it, put a little bit of candy paint on there, put a little flake on it. Let's go, man.
Paint the general
get rid of the flag. Let's get rid of it, man.
Okay, so we're going to get rid of the flag. Can we at least keep Daisy? Daisy Duke?
I think we can keep that. Yeah.
All right. You know what else was in the news today? And recently, down at Florida State University, the Florida State Seminoles football team, there was a quarterback. And his name is, what's his name? Johnson. He's a backup quarterback, and he recently got in trouble because he went into a nightclub, a bar, and he bumped into a young lady. And the young lady didn't like the way he bumped into her, so she kneed him in the groin, and she called him a nasty racial epithet.
The N-word.
And she took a swing at it.
Okay.
And now he's been kicked off the team because he swung back.
Okay.
So, did you guys hear about this? Okay. Big story that's in the news.
Right.
Marcus, you have 3 daughters, man.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, when you think about
four,
I'm sorry,
get it right,
4 daughters, I'm sorry.
My wife's here, so you're going to get me in trouble.
But once you hit 3, it doesn't really matter. 4 or 5.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
But seriously though, talking about a young man that hit a woman in a situation like that, what are your thoughts?
Well, you know what? I have this conversation with people when this type of stuff comes up. But for me personally, I'm going to teach my daughters, you never hit a man. You don't know what type of mind state that man's going to be in, what kind of day he's had, what kind of mood he's in. So you don't want to put yourself in that situation if you can help it, you know, and that's where it starts. But as a man, you should never put your hands on a lady. So he's got to go through the repercussions. So, you know, he's kicked off the team. I don't know what else is going to happen to him, but you can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do
I agree. Yep.
Can't do it. Baby, another clap. I got another clap. See, I'm making it happen.
I got 2 claps. I got none.
Yeah.
I got to step up my game.
Right.
No, I want to go on record and say I don't condone a man hitting a woman in any circumstance.
Right.
But I will tell you this. What I teach my daughters, don't ever hit anyone. Keep your hands to yourself. You guys, can I get a round of applause if you believe it?
Good job, Terry. Good job, Terry.
Okay?
Good job.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Right. Can't do it.
Because everybody's not as patient as me.
Right. And the girl, she was 3 for 3. You said she kneed him in the groin.
Hit him in the groin.
Called him the N-word.
Called him the N-word.
And then she slapped him in the face.
Slapped him in the face. 3 strikes.
You know, I don't know where he's from, but in most neighborhoods, you can't do but probably 2 of those. And not get hands put on you. So, yeah.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap, man. All right, now, and that's the kind of, you know, that's how we talk in the barbershop. That's how we're going to get down. And tonight we have a special guest that we want to bring up to you and talk to you about some things. But to give you an idea more in depth of what goes on in the barbershop, here's a little sample of what happens out there.
When you address me as All Pro Cornerback Richard Sherman.
That's the crazy part, bro, is that this dude got the best numbers in the league and they're still trying to say he's not the best.
Funny part, last year is everyone's trying to say how bad that, Sherman, he's not doing much this year, he's quiet this year. No, what happened was no one was really throwing his damn direction this year.
They ain't gonna test him.
No one was really testing him.
Aaron Rodgers wouldn't even throw to him. Nah, he's still hungry. Richard Sherman got to add to it.
Hey, Sherman is ready to prove everyone wrong yet again.
That's how it goes down in the barbershop.
Yeah,
that's exactly how it goes down.
Just a little sample. You see me getting my face trimmed up.
I saw that. And he stayed away from up top. You ain't want too much off the top.
Yeah, you know, I want to let it grow in a little bit. You know?
Okay.
But yeah, that's what we talk about in the barbershop. We like to talk sports a lot, and we love to talk Seahawks. And tonight we have the fortune of having a very special guest from the Seattle Seahawks, Compton native Richard Sherman, in the house at the barbershop.
Yeah! Brother Sherman, we appreciate it. And then we're going to put you right there. Right.
4-5 up there. Ooh.
Yeah, the 4-5. You see that wazoo up there. Ooh. Don't get nervous.
Don't get nervous when you see the 4-5.
Yeah.
All right, first of all, thank you, Richard, for joining us. We're glad to have you here in the barbershop with us.
I appreciate y'all having me.
Right on,
It'll be fun.
Well, let's jump straight to it, man. It's been a long time. Feels like it's been forever since we last seen you, since we last heard from Richard Sherman. It's been a long off season. We've been waiting for football. What have you been doing with yourself?
Changing diapers.
Changing diapers.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of skinny, and a little bit of fat. You gotta hit everything. Just staying busy, man. After the season, the off season, you try to spend time with your family, try to travel a little bit, try to get everything done. And the longer you go in your season, the less time you got to do that. So, I just been trying to get everything done in a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Earlier this summer, we ran into you at a charity event, and it just so happened that day you said you were coming off of a boat, and you said you were out there fishing. So here's the question I have for you, Richard. Born and raised in Compton, California, Hub City. What does that guy know about fishing on the waters in Seattle, Washington?
You know what? That's a fair question. That is a fair question. You may think I know about thuggery.
No.
It kind of seems like that's where you're going.
This is not that show, Richard.
Just win the tap.
Right. This is not that show.
You know what? Don't know much. Maybe that's why the fish wasn't biting on my line. I knew, you put the worm on, you throw it out there, and then you wait, and then I waited. Then I waited, and then I was late to the charity event because I waited too long.
Because what? You also said that something happened. You guys came to shore, and you had to go on a little jog.
Yeah. I had to go on a nice mile jog because we didn't realize that the boat drop was a mile. They're right next to each other, but there's a barbed wire fence that separates them. So you can't just hop the fence and say, oh, I'm gonna go to my car right there. So you gotta jog around the block. And as I'm jogging around the block in my shorts and my wife beater, my boat attire.
Ooh.
That's the Compton boat attire, shorts and wife beater.
The cars are honking and people are offering to give me a ride when they're going the opposite direction of where I'm going.
But you was too proud to take it, though.
I was
You
way
were too proud.
I was way too proud.
I dig it. Well, yeah, just to piggyback off that, I guess the off season, you talked about spending time with your family and stuff like that. And so my tightest into a football question. I lied to you when I said I wasn't gonna do football questions. But so with all that being said, you got your family, you've got your big contract, you got the girl, that you've been to numerous Pro Bowls, you've been to Super Bowls. Are you gonna be that same Richard Sherman on the field? You still gonna have that chip on your shoulder that I saw on you? And I don't know, are you gonna be that same guy? Are you gonna be that same feisty guy on the field, or are you chilling now?
Some people got no chill.
Okay.
Like I'm one of those people.
I can see that in you. Okay.
I just don't really have a chill button. Or I push it if I had it. I don't got to push.
Right. Yeah, because I'm just saying, some people want to know, in a short amount of time, this guy has done so much. I guess what's now his motivation? What's his motivation to be better now?
Well, I mean, it was the same motivation last year. You had all that last year, and it was, you just go out there and you want to be a dog. You're just a dog. You go out there to win. You don't go out there to play just for fun. This is a game, but we don't do it for fun.
That's deep. I'm gonna write that down. It's a game, but we don't do it for fun. I like that.
We do this for fun.
I like it.
So I don't want to ever put a bad tape out there. As a great man, great Trufant once told me, your tape is your resume. And I don't ever want bad stuff on my resume. So I just go out there and continue to play balls out, and you owe it to the guys next to you as always.
Right.
You guys trying to create a legacy, guys trying to feed their family. So can't take no food off their plate.
I got you. And just for the record, I was in my probably 8th, 9th year, your rookie year?
Yep.
Something like that. And so as I was going out, Sherman was coming in, so I just tell the crowd, you pushed me out of the NFL.
Wow.
That's why I'm here.
Wow.
That's why I'm sitting in this chair now. But thank you, Sherman. I appreciate that.
Brother, I thought it was more of a pass in the torch.
Right.
But,
Right. T, let them know what's up,
No, I'm
man.
saying you put him in an unemployment line, man. He's out here. I had to help him get a job here.
Y'all know, I thought it was a lot more love on the show.
It's all love, brother.
I'm gonna have to put my leg up like that
now. It's all right. We got him hooked up with Obamacare and everything.
There you go. Right. I'm good.
No, we kind of made light of it earlier about you being from Compton, but you're very proud of your upbringing and heritage in Compton. One of the things when people always say that, and it's so funny that you said that, thuggery. When people talk about Compton, they think thug, they think gangster, they think crime-infested area. Okay? I mean, I'm just telling the truth what people say.
You're just being name-caller now.
I'm just pointing out what the people say. But when we look at it, we look on paper and we look at what Compton has developed, the roses that have grown from Compton. We look at the NBA. We got guys like Cedric Sabalas, Tyson Chandler, Baron Davis, Tayshaun Prince. We look at the entertainment world. We're talking about Kendrick Lamar. We're talking about Dr. Dre. We're talking about NWA. And then we talk about athletics. We're talking about Venus and Serena Williams. We're talking about James Lofton, Marcellus Wiley, and Richard Sherman. So what is it about that environment that's breeding successful people? Like if we looked at, I bet you if we looked at the city of Bellevue, there wouldn't be that many. It's kind of funny we're saying that, but if you look, and I don't want to disparage Bellevue High School, but if you looked at their resume and their alumni, people that come from there, I don't think the same kind of success stories come from there. What is it about Compton that's doing that?
I guess because you only have two avenues to go at that point. You have a few opportunities to be successful, to make it out the city, and you either take advantage of your opportunities or you're dead, you're in jail, you fail. I mean, there's either success or failure. There's no middle ground. There's not like, oh, well, we just gonna pitter-pat around and find a middling job, and because you see everything you see on TV, and when you're in a city like that, all your dreams and all your ambitions are from the things you see on TV. A lot of people have never even been out of the city. You sitting there like, oh, I want to go to Costa Rica one day. You couldn't tell me how to get there or where it's at. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate that those are the circumstances that people are raised in. But but there are certain people who are ambitious enough to dream bigger, and they get put their all into it. And it's not always success. You know, for every success story, there's 10 guys sitting at home or sitting in jail because they screwed up or they made a mistake somewhere along the lines, you know, trying to get themselves a shortcut to success. And, you know, I'm just grateful to have that adversity you have, because I feel like once you make it there, you can make it anywhere. You know, you deal with so much adversity, so much nonsense, and you think about it as normal life. You know, you think about gangbangers on the corner, you know, dope heads walking by, you know, hookers walking the strip. You think that's regular life. You know, it's not. The rest of the world must be just like this. You know, then you step outside the city, you're like, wait, where's the violence? You know, where's the crime? There's, you know, on New Year's they're shooting fireworks. They used to just shoot in the sky. You know, and you're kind of looking for home. You know, you go to Stanford and it was a drastic contrast from Compton to Stanford. You know, nobody's shooting guns at Stanford. You know, they're not letting you on that campus. And it was startling at first for me, but you know, it's just one of those things.
Okay, well, Sherm, I read an article. It was about Deshaun Jackson and some of the ties, because you guys grew up around the same area.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, and you guys played some youth sports together and stuff like that. So some of the friends, I would assume that both of you guys grew up with, and the ties you have back home. A lot of the guys who are trying to do the exact same stuff that you're doing. You know, they got dreams to play sports and stuff like that. I grew up with a lot of people in Tacoma trying to do the same thing. Somehow, some way that they get lost, they get off the path. What would you say to I guess some younger kids that are trying to do some of the same stuff, who have the aspirations to make it to the league and do stuff, but they're around a pretty much an environment that is set up for you to fail?
I would say there's no excuses. You know, at the end of the day, there's no excuse. Those same people you're running with that you want to blame will take no blame for your failure. You know, they'll take all the credit in the world for your success.
Right.
But they will take no credit for your failure. You know, you go and be like, oh well, such and such was ditching school, so I ditched school, but he made it and I didn't make it. Well, such and such don't even remember ditching school because he made it. You know, and you can't say that you went to class and you did all this to be successful and somebody made you do it. You know, whatever you do, that's going to be your decision. That's going to be who dictates your path. You can't let other people dictate your path, dictate your future. And that's a lot of times what I tell these kids, because they're so focused on trying to be cool, trying to impress these kids that are going to be in the same position they're in right now. These kids ditching class and trying to be cool, like, oh man, you drove all the way to school, got here, and gonna spend 3 hours walking around the school. Like, it's got to be the stupidest logic I've ever heard of. And that's what I used to tell them in high school. I'm like, y'all came all the way, you might as well stay home. You came all the way up here to look cool, to walk around the school. You could have just went to class. You might as well went to class.
Right.
Now you fail, and then your mama asking you why you ain't walking the stage on graduation, and you ain't got nothing for her, you know? And that's the hard reality.
That's Richard Sherman, y'all. That's real right there. Yeah.
That's the hard reality for these kids.
I like it. Yeah.
Well, I like to say, man, thank you. You've done a great job of setting an example for these kids, inner city, and even not in inner city. Just let them know, you know, there's a path for you, and not giving up is the only way that you're going to be a success. But let's jump off that a little bit.
Okay. Change up.
Let's get into some of. I don't want to get too controversial. But I am.
Okay, I figured that.
You know, again, you've had a pretty quiet offseason. I know you've been getting ready for the upcoming season, but there's a young man by the name of Antonio Cromartie.
Okay.
He plays defensive back for some other team that's out.
Somewhere out there.
Out there. And he recently came out and said some things about you. And he says, and I quote, Richard Sherman couldn't be the best corner in the game because he doesn't trail the opposition's best receiver. Now, first of all, I'm going to go on record and say I believe you're the best cornerback in the game right now playing. You guys agree with me? But that's just my opinion, and I'm sitting beside you.
So you
very intimidating over here. Definitely did my shrugs the other day.
But no, seriously, what you've overcome a lot of the people that have negative things to say. You've shown on the field what you can do year after year. What do you say when you hear stuff like that?
I just say it's unfortunate. You know, I mean, a lot of times in this world, you know, people will shout out your failures and whisper your accomplishments. You know, that's just the way. That's the world we live in now. You know, everything's a headline. Everybody wants to make a headline. Everybody wants to get clicks. So you got to kind of ignore it. You know, you got to kind of rise above it, step above it. You know, you laugh at it, whatever you pick, because at the end of the day, it really, you know, he's not buttering my bread. You know, he's not taking money off my table. You know, I mean, if anything, he's making me more relevant. You know, every time you speak my name, you're making me more relevant. Every time you say this best cornerback debate, you got to put my name in it. You know, it's that kind of conversation that he doesn't even understand he's in. You know, you're so busy losing that you don't understand. You know, it gets to that.
Only in the shop.
Check that.
It gets to that point. So you know, it would be in my best interest to just ignore it and avoid it, because it's pointless. You know, I mean, you spend, a lot of these guys spend time arguing with fans and going back and forth, but it's like, you know, they couldn't understand the game at the level we understand it from playing it. You know, there's a certain IQ you have to play at a high level that certain people don't even have, you know, to understand what we're doing in the game, the techniques, the guys that we're covering, the plays that we're understanding, how quickly our mind is moving throughout a game to understand how well we're playing. You know, it's like, oh, that play looked cool because it's athletic. He jumped high, he caught the football, he ran, but they didn't know that I saw that play on film twice. I picked a receiver I wasn't even covering, you know what I mean? And it's hard for fans and sometimes players, because not every player is created equally in the mental aspect of the game. So, I mean, there are certain players that have a high IQ and a great respect and passion for the game, and those are the only opinions that really matter.
Right. And again, I'm just to follow that up is, you know, I listen to a lot of these critics, and the thing about critics, everybody has an opinion. But the thing is, they always say Richard Sherman is a success because of the system that he plays in. My question is, what system do you want him to play in? He plays for the Seattle Seahawks, and he does his job.
Yeah, I've never heard so many people become coaches in a day.
Like they know football, they're experts.
Because if I walked out there and said, no, I want to do it my way, and I'm going to do it like this, then I'm a selfish player. But
yes,
if I go, which apparently I am,
right?
Because if I just listen to my coach and do what I'm told to do, and we're the number one defense, then I'm in the wrong. Then I'm doing something crazy. I'm not following the best receiver, but we're the number one defense in the land. You know what I mean? It's like you can only do what your coach should do. You know, I don't call the plays. If I call the plays, who knows what I call? But I don't. You know what I mean? And I think that's the part of the game that people get twisted. You know, it's like these players are dictating their jobs. Like, oh, coach, I'm doing this game. No, you're not. You're gonna do exactly what I'm paying you to do.
Right.
Because my job is on the line when you go out there, you know, and it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I just, I really don't have a question. I just want to make a statement of how just this night and day, pretty much from when I first started playing, with all the social media and the Twitter and all the fan interaction. And like you said, you got coaches and these fans that are the best. On Mondays after the game, they can tell you everything that you should have did and everything that you should have done. And I just feel like I was kind of lucky to kind of get out just before all that, because everybody can't handle it. You see all this stuff that goes on social media, and these players, like you said, they're going back and forth with fans when they really don't have to, because the average fan is not able to comprehend or understand the game at that level. So it's just a little crazy. So I take my hat off to everybody who's out there right now, who's doing it, and the fans are pretty much right there. They can pretty much get right next to you with all the social media. They can be right up close to you. They can ask you questions. They can talk about you. I don't know. It's just crazy. So I'm glad I got out when I did.
Glad you did too.
Yeah.
Somebody might get hurt.
Yes. You know, me and T-Town, man, tear this thing up.
Speaking of social media, the Barbershop has a huge following on social media, Facebook and Twitter. And we went to Twitter and we said, if you had an opportunity to sit down with Richard Sherman and ask him a question, what would you ask him? So let's look at some of our Twitter followers and see what they had to ask Mr. Sherman. And coming from Miss Williams, Cola Bean, she says, Richard, which rookies have you been most impressed with so far?
Before I answer this question, think about some of the names you're about to read.
Oh, yeah. Cola Beanie.
Cola Beanie. You know,
shout out to Cola Beanie.
Yes.
The kid at receiver, Tyler Lockett. You know, I mean, they brought him in for his return game prowess and things like that. But he's been pretty dynamic at receiver. You know, but as True knows, you know, this helmets, this 7-on-7.
So he wasn't able to put paws on. You couldn't put hands on him.
I know. I put him on him. No, I didn't say it was that impressive.
All right, okay.
But you know, it doesn't matter until Cam puts a shoulder pad on him, and then he gets up and says, "Let's do it again." You know what I mean? Then you know, a lot of people lose their heart when they get hit in this league for the first time. I mean, I done seen him take many men's soul. But he looks good. The corner, Ty looks great, but you know, like I said, it's not full speed. You know, these guys are still learning when they put shoulder pads on and helmets and we start really getting after it and we get out there and the lights get cut on and that pressure gets put on them, we'll see how they go. You know, pressure busts pipes and it also makes diamonds, so we'll see what happens.
All right.
All right, who we got now? We got Mr. Greg Root. It says, aloha. Don't forget to ask Mr. Richard Sherman about his sick boogie boarding skills.
You know, I appreciate that, Greg.
In Maui this week. Mahalo, Root. So can you tell us about that boogie boarding,
man?
You know, y'all ever did boogie boarding?
No.
Was that when you stand up or you on your stomach?
You're on your stomach.
Okay, but I haven't.
Kind of feel like you took a shot there. You wasn't gonna let me.
No, I don't know, brother. That was real.
There was a lot of glory that I was looking for.
Okay.
It's the one where you know, me and my family were out there, you know, black people, you know, that I know. You know, I can't speak in general, but black people that I know aren't the best swimmers. So the ocean isn't really something they do naturally.
Right.
So we were out there, and you know, the first few times, the waves in Maui are a lot bigger than the waves in California on like a Long Beach, you know, where they just, you know, when they going over your head and they coming down, it's a lot more consequence for you making a mistake. Then, you know, so we dealt with our growing pains.
Consequences. Right?
Consequences.
The repercussions.
Yeah, we dealt with that, and then we finally started to catch some waves, and then, you know, I'm pretty professional. You know, I was gonna get sponsored, but I had to, you know, the football thing.
I got you.
So Richard Sherman has a career in boogie boarding when he gets done with football, ladies and gentlemen.
I like it.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Chris Carlson writes in and says, "What's the one thing that football has taught you that you're gonna pass on to your son?" Now, your son is how old now?
He's 5 months.
Okay, 5 months old. What are you gonna pass on to him?
I think what I'm gonna pass on to him is just football is a game of like it teaches you so much discipline and overcoming adversity and just being tough, being a tough player. You know what I mean? You get hit, you could sit down, you can stay down sometimes, you can get up. You know, you could play hurt. You know, football is a game, you're always hurting. So you could always sit out. You could always say, you know, I can't go today. My back, my neck, my ankle. You know, it's always something that's going wrong with you. And that's what I'm gonna tell him. Like, overcome. You know, always overcome. Always step past that. Go past your limits, because you don't know them until you go past them. You don't know them until you push it one level past what you thought you could go, and you really start to see where your ceiling is. And I think football is the game that taught me that. You know, I was a coward when I was young. You know, I mean, when you're young, you don't want to hit nobody. I didn't want to hit the bed when I jumped on the floor. You know what I mean? But one day my dad picked me up and slammed me because I didn't want to hit people in drills, and he was the head coach. You know how dads do it. I'm
Pops
sure your
was
pops
always on it. Yeah.
You know, so we were doing this angle drill. I wouldn't hit with this dude because he looked like he was about 15 pounds bigger than me, and it just wasn't a good career decision for me at the time. We went through the drill about 3 times. My dad built up about as high as he was gonna go. He said, "Go one more time." Then next thing you know, I was, and I was running into anything moving from there. You know.
And now look at you today, y'all.
And now look at me. You know,
Right.
I only get run over once a season.
All right. Let's see. We got one more from Will. Let's see. It says, "Is Doug Baldwin Jr. still pooping out footballs?" That's the best question of the day.
I was hoping I got that.
Yeah. Richard, what do you say about that?
Not sure. You know, I have not checked on his bowel movements as of late.
Or his fiber intake, right?
Yes,
Let's see where he's at.
There's a potential that he's still pooping out footballs. There's you know, some people would use more colorful language, but we're gonna say pooping out.
We're gonna say pooping. That looks like it's something that you guys picked up at Stanford for sure.
Wow.
Shots fired.
Wow.
Shots fired.
I'm just saying, go Dogs. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. But hey, before we get you out of here, I gotta tell you a story. Real quick, that happened to True and myself earlier this summer. True and I went to the U.S. Open that was down in Tacoma.
Okay.
The golf tournament, all the pros were here, and we were walking around down there, and it was in Tacoma, True's hometown. Mm-hmm. So every 10 seconds, somebody was stopping us. "Hey, True, what's going on? Go Hawks!"
Yeah, it is the
right?
team.
10 seconds, every 10 seconds. But every 5 seconds, they were stopping us for the person we were with. And who we were with was ex-NFL great Seattle Seahawks Sidney Rice.
Oh, yes.
And so every 5 seconds they were stopping us, and they weren't saying, hey, Sydney. They were saying, hey, Sherman, Richard Sherman, how you doing? So for those of you that have never seen Richard Sherman and Sidney Rice in the same room at the same time, who was who?
He's sad.
Who was who?
You know what? I tell you what happened one time. You know, a fan came up to Sid and was like, you are my favorite player. And he was like, I bet I'm not. I bet I'm not. I can bet you. And he was like, but you're Richard Sherman, right? And he was like, no. And he walked off. Well, this was probably about number 105. Yeah, somebody coming up to him. So he was fed up at this point, but it was just funny to watch from a distance.
It was. And there was some people that they weren't going to believe it. They're like, yes, you are. No, I'm not. You are Richard Sherman.
That's the total opposite of what it was my rookie year.
That's what he told us. That's what I was going to say. Did you have any stories about that?
My rookie year, we were jogging out the tunnel. He had just jogged out in front of me. And I mean, it's stretching maybe 10 yards away. And I'm jogging out. And I'm like, and everybody like, Sydney. I'm like, he's standing right there. You can see him. He's standing right there. You know I'm not him right now. He has an 18 on. He had his jersey on.
The fans.
Hey. But you know what? You're not the only one that has a twin. Marcus has one.
You guys think, are we close? Did we get
Young True!
And that's a young True with the fans and everything. I was a young man then, so
Hang
I can
time,
kind of
too.
see it.
You see it?
And you know, if I would have played baseball, you know, I could have been pretty good. I stopped playing in high school because the football coach chased me down and made me run track. I wanted to play baseball, but you know, who knows what? I mean, I could be him now if it wasn't for my high school football coach. So,
What position was you playing?
you know what? I was a leadoff hitter because I never hit a home run in my baseball career, but I always got on base, and I was still base. You know, I was a fast, little, stocky, kind of quick dude. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little thicker now, but so I don't run like that. I can see it, but yeah.
I see it.
It's the mustache that's throwing you off a little bit that he got,
But I think we got it. We're pretty close. T, I know you got one too, and I think yours might be the funniest.
like maybe Warren Sapp. I'm gonna give you Warren Sapp.
That's it right there. Oh.
Yeah.
That is not me, man. Look at, he got a big bobblehead and a honk nose.
That's too milk duds, man. You take that hat off.
Like what do you call that pose you doing right there is my next question.
The high school eyes, the high school pictures.
No, that's the sexual chocolate.
Okay.
When I put that on you, it's trouble.
I think we looked into the future. Then B47, then we come together and figure out
That's right.
how to go to the future to see what Sherm would look like in the year, let's say 2045.
Yes, we have, the Barbershop has discovered a way to go into the future.
Yes.
And so we figured out a way to see what you look like.
So we think that's pretty close, you know. Here at B47 Studios, we got a bigger budget now that we in the studio live audience.
I see.
So,
Is that was like a snapshot? Did y'all catch me on a good day or?
We thought you were like in your new future position of playing the piano, I guess. What is going on with your hairline, Richard?
It's having a recession, obviously.
All right, now let's talk about your foundation. You got a lot of exciting things coming up here. Tell us about it.
Well, we got we got my charity dinner and charity softball game, and we have it every year coming up July 18th and 19th, and all 100% of the proceeds go to benefit my foundation, and my foundation aims at helping inner city kids in the world of academics. You know, as we were speaking about earlier, kids walking around school and trying to be cool, but a lot of them are masking, you know, their families not having enough money to get them backpacks and notebooks and school supplies, and so, you know, they just walk around and say, oh man, I couldn't do it anyway, so I'm just gonna be cool. So, you know, we're trying to change some of these kids' path, give them ample opportunity to be successful in the educational system, and we're mentoring. We got a mentor program where we're mentoring some of the more troubled kids, and just trying to improve their state, you know, where they're standing in school, and hopefully push them to be ambitious enough to make it to the next level, you know, and not just in sports or anything like that, but we want these kids to step outside the boundaries of always wanting to be an athlete or you know, a rapper, or, you know, you gonna you're gonna sell some stuff. You know what I mean? You gotta be more ambitious than that. You gotta open your eyes. You know, there's stockbrokers out there that's making a ton of money. There's, you know, you could be a coach, you could be a teacher, you could be a lawyer, doctor, you could be whatever you want. And I think once these kids open their eyes and open their spectrum, I think this will be a much different place for them.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Thank you. So you got the softball tournament coming up on July 18th at Safeco Field, and they can still go get tickets. You got some special celebrity guests coming to play.
Yeah, we got a couple people coming to play. They can still go get tickets on my website, RichardSherman25.com. We got, you know, a lot of people asked for Brian McKnight last year. We had Tank, you know, and so they asked for Brian McKnight, so we found him. And he's gonna come out and hopefully sing the national anthem, you know, so he can get that. You know. I was gonna sing it, but you know, Brian.
Man of many hats.
But then we got a couple of old players, you know, that used to play for us. You know, we got Brandon Browner, Byron Maxwell coming back. We got Russell Westbrook, obviously my teammates Russell Wilson, Earl Cam, and all those guys playing. We got a couple musicians. Christina Milian is confirmed to play. We got a bunch of people. It should be a really fun event. It should be, you know, a great time for everybody that comes, and hopefully it works out.
Right on, right on. Well,
I just want a media pack. Can the barbershop come? Can we come hang out as the barbershop? Can the barbershop come and hang out?
You know, that's the plan, you know, but I know, you know, I heard you got a new addition, you know, that you know, is different from your other additions in some way. Can you tell us about that?
Right. Well,
you know, since we're gonna talk about new additions, both of you guys have new additions. You have a new boy. You have a new boy.
yes.
So proud of that. I saw that.
I know, yeah. Cassius.
Both of you guys are new daddies.
Yes.
You're up at night changing diapers and fixing bottles, right?
Yeah, he just made a mountain for me today when I was changing that diaper. It was like a life changer. Watch at 5. I mean,
Have you got it underneath your fingernails yet? Did you get all that yet?
Yeah, it was on my hand. I thought I called myself. And my girl used one wipe to wipe it all. She used the diaper and then one wipe. Well, I used about 12 of them.
I'm the same way.
That's it?
Same way, yeah.
Well, listen, since you guys want to trace war stories about changing diapers now, I know you guys are ultra competitive. We got the old dog and the young dog.
Some people call it old bull. But
old bull, young bull, whatever you want to call it. We want to see which one of you guys is best at.
What are these dogs that y'all got?
This is the Seattle Seahawks baby swaddling contest. Okay. We're gonna put on a little competition to see which one of you guys can swaddle the baby the fastest and the best.
Okay.
You guys ready for this?
Let's do it.
I feel like y'all halfway made true.
Wait. I can't have any unfair advantages. Nostalgia beat, you got any swaddling music? All right. On the count of 3, gentlemen, I'm gonna need you to swaddle. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Shake it out.
Baby, lay down. Why do you already have the dance ready? You know what? You just don't sleep like that tonight.
Hey, man, that's what 5 kids would do for you.
Yeah, that's too much experience for you.
You're gonna have to put a few more babies under your belt before you get that kind of experience.
That's his 5th.
Yes.
You got a little catching up to do, Richard.
Yes.
Well, listen, thank you again for being here with us. Please come back and visit us anytime, man. Thank you. Give it up for the Sherman. Well, we want to thank you guys for being here with us. We want to thank DJ Nostalgia Beat for keeping us in the mix all night. Definitely want to thank B47 Studios for holding us down in here.
Yeah.
Rezin Marketing, Pete, who was here, who helped us put this whole thing together, and Isaiah Trufant, Marcus's brother, made our intro music.
Yeah.
And most of all, we want to thank you guys for being here with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And we, of course, we want everybody to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Everything is at Barbershop 206. And next week on the show, is there any soccer fans in here? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Next week, we will have Casey Keller, recently inducted into the U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame and former captain of the U.S. World Cup team. And yeah, man, it's going down every Thursday. Barbershop 206. Yeah. That's it.
Thank you guys for coming tonight.
Man,
Did that so fast.
Got an attitude. You put the baby on the ground.
The baby needs to go to sleep real quick. Lay down.
calm the baby. Don't put the baby down. So what we gonna do here? Just stand up, let the crowd act like this. We gonna watch this.
That ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls.